What am I doing with my
It's
life?
3 in the morning and you can't sleep. Your eyes are locked on the ceiling while your brain runs those terrifying calculations. Money coming in from your job, money flying out for rent, food on the table, maybe that car note. One emergency hits, a flat tire, an unexpected bill, and everything falls apart like a house of cards. And here's what really stings. You look around and see other people your age who seem to have cracked some secret code. Money just flows to them like magic. Same 24 hours you've got, probably not any brighter than you, but somehow their bank accounts keep climbing while you're drowning in quicksand. Here's what you need to understand. This isn't about luck. It's not about hitting the jackpot or buying a winning scratch-off ticket. And it definitely isn't about killing yourself with endless 80-hour work weeks. It's about 3 fundamental changes in how they think about and handle their money. Stick with me until the end, and I'm going to break down the psychology, show you the actual numbers, and give you the specific steps to copy their blueprint. My name is John, and I'm passionate about helping everyday people discover how straightforward money strategies can transform their entire lives. Think back to school for a second. 2 kids study the exact same amount of time, but one student understands how tests are scored, which topics matter most, and how to manage their study schedule. They nail that every time. The other kid works themselves to death and barely scrapes by. The money operates on this exact same principle. Most people hustle hard, they sacrifice, they penny pinch, they grind themselves into dust, but they're following the wrong instruction manual. Meanwhile, wealthy people are playing an entirely different sport, and these 3 secrets are their winning strategy. Here's the truth that nobody wants to admit. Half of all adults in research studies point to money as their absolute biggest source of stress. Not their careers, not their marriages, money. And when your mind connects money with anxiety, shame, or selfishness, you'll sabotage yourself without even realizing it. Really think about this. If deep down you believe money corrupts people or that wealthy individuals are all terrible human beings, how fired up are you going to be about joining their club? That hidden belief destroys your chances before you even take the first step. Picture yourself standing in the grocery store aisle, frozen in place. Should you grab the name brand cereal or the store brand that'll save you $2? That tiny moment of panic and overthinking isn't really about breakfast food. It's about this deep-seated belief that money is running out, that it has power over you. Here's what changes everything. Money has no morality. It's just a tool like owning a hammer. You can use that hammer to build someone a beautiful home, or you can use it to destroy a window. Hammer doesn't determine whether you're good or evil. Money just turns up the volume on who you already are at your core. If you're a giving person, money lets you give on a massive scale. If you're careless and impulsive, money amplifies that disaster. The result? People who treat money like their enemy shoot themselves in the foot constantly. They blow cash when guilt creeps in. They refuse to learn basic investing principles. They survive paycheck to paycheck, convinced this struggle is just their destiny. Let's run some quick numbers. If you thoughtlessly waste just $10 every single day on stuff you don't even remember buying, that's $300 vanishing every month, or $3,600 every year. Now imagine redirecting that into investments earning a 7% return. That grows into roughly $55,000 over 10 years. That's the price tag of treating money like water leaking through your hands. So here's your action step starting today. Completely reframe your mental relationship with money. Stop labeling it as corrupt or filthy. Start seeing it as a lever you control. Try this tiny shift. Take $50 a month from something you won't even miss, subscriptions you never use, impulsive food orders you regret, and move it into savings or toward wiping out debt. That simple action sends a signal to your brain. I control money. Money doesn't control me. Now let's change direction. Here's where most people completely miss the point. They're convinced getting wealthy means working endless hours. So they pile on overtime, grab second jobs, burn themselves down to nothing. But here are the facts. There are only 24 hours in any given day. Even if you're making $30 an hour, you physically cannot break through that ceiling. I personally know people grinding 6 days straight every week, collapsing on their one day off, and they still feel completely broke. They're exhausted beyond belief, short-tempered with their families, promising themselves they'll finally rest once the debt disappears. But here's the reality. That nightmare cycle never stops if all you're doing is swapping your hours for cash. Wealthy people flip that entire question upside down. Instead of asking, how can I work more hours, they're asking, how can I make more money while working less? They purchase their time back. They put money into systems, income-producing assets, or skills that keep generating revenue even when they're sleeping. Let me paint a concrete picture for you. Imagine someone grinding 50 hours every week with nothing to show for it at the end. Now compare them to someone who caps their work at 40 hours but consistently invests $500 monthly into a simple index fund. With a 7% real return, that person accumulates around $600,000 over 30 years. The person working themselves to death ends up exhausted and financially broke. The investor ends up with choices and freedom. Here's the game changer. When you truly value your time, your spending habits transform completely. You'll happily drop $200 on a tool that buys you back 10 hours, but you won't waste $200 on some status symbol that steals your future freedom. Now I've got a brilliant move for you to implement this. Just track one full week of your life. Mark every hour where you're trading time for minimal return, pointless overtime shifts, brutal commutes, mindless phone scrolling. Replace just 2 of those hours with something that builds over time, learning a marketable skill, creating a side income stream, or working out to boost your energy levels. That single pivot, repeated consistently, compounds faster than any overtime check ever could. Here's the part that should shake you awake. Your most valuable asset isn't your job, your house, or your retirement account. It's you, your skill set, your health, your connections. Rich people understand this at their core. Before they buy fancy cars or mansion homes, they invest heavily in themselves: educational courses, expert mentorship, transformative books, therapy sessions, professional training. Why? Because every single upgrade to yourself multiplies your income potential forever. So imagine 2 different roads. Person A finances a $40,000 car with a loan. Person B takes that same money spread over a few years and pours it into training programs, professional certifications, or launching a side business. 5 years down the road, Person A owns a car losing value every single day. Person B has a higher income, unshakable confidence, and serious leverage in their career. Think about all those times you considered buying that one book or enrolling in that course, but you told yourself, maybe later, I can't really justify spending that money right now. Meanwhile, you'll throw that same $20 at food delivery that changes absolutely nothing about your life. Here's a true story. A friend of mine was drowning in debt, barely scraping together enough to cover basic rent. They were convinced they'd never escape that prison. Instead of surrendering, they started incredibly small, free money management videos online, $10 books, and a $29 digital course. They didn't have much at all, but they treated learning like breathing, absolutely mandatory, not something optional. Within just 2 years, they had completely eliminated their debt, built up a small safety net of emergency cash, and even began investing every single month. They're not a millionaire yet, but here's what matters. They sleep peacefully now. They have real options, and their entire relationship with money did a complete 180-degree flip. But you're probably thinking, I can't afford to invest in myself right now. That's backwards. You can't afford not to. Investing in yourself doesn't require a fortune: a $20 book, a completely free online course, a $50 weekend workshop. These compound into thousands and thousands of dollars over your career. The real danger isn't spending too much on yourself. The real danger is staying stuck exactly where you are. Here's a reality check for you. A $200 pair of trendy sneakers loses half its value the second you walk out of the store. A $200 skill course that gets you just a $1 hourly raise, that's an extra $2,000 every single year, year after year. The return on investment isn't even in the same universe. So here's your move. Choose one self-investment this month. Maybe it's a fitness program, maybe it's a skill-building course, maybe it's joining a mastermind group with ambitious people. Commit to it completely. Rich people treat this like paying rent, absolutely non-negotiable. Let's pull back and look at the big picture. Here's the divide between average and disciplined. The average person treats money as a constant source of anxiety. They overspend habitually, carry credit card balances month after month, and keep promising themselves they'll start saving next year. The disciplined person sees money as a lever of power. They save money first before spending on anything else, they pay off credit cards in full every cycle, and they keep their expenses under strict control. At first, the difference looks tiny. Both might be pulling in the same $50,000 salary in their 20s, but watch what happens as time works its magic. By age 30, the average person has maybe $2,000 saved if they're lucky, a couple of high-interest credit cards weighing them down, and 0 real investments. The disciplined person who's been consistently saving 15% from day one already has $40,000 quietly growing in index funds. By age 40, the average person is still trapped paycheck to paycheck, one unexpected car repair away from total panic. They've earned hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years, but practically nothing has stuck to their hands. The disciplined person, their net worth is pushing into 6 figures. They've got 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved and a growing investment portfolio generating dividend income. By age 50, the average person is completely burned out, still stuck in that trap of trading hours for dollars, still way behind on retirement planning. The disciplined person can actually see the finish line now. They've built enough of a financial cushion that work becomes a choice, not a prison sentence. They can walk away from a toxic job or take an entire year off without fear gripping their chest. That's the massive difference. Same starting salary, same number of hours available each day. But one life stays permanently stuck in survival mode, barely hanging on. The other life buys freedom, real options, and genuine peace of mind. The biggest secret wealthy people know isn't hidden away in some exclusive vault. It's mindset, it's identity. It's making the decision to see money as a lever of power, to protect your time like it's the most precious resource you'll ever possess, and to continuously build yourself into someone more valuable with each passing year. Remember that friend I mentioned earlier? They didn't stumble into good fortune. They didn't magically start earning 6 figures overnight. They transformed who they were at their core. They stopped declaring "I'm broke and trapped forever" and started behaving like someone who invests in themselves and manages money with intention and purpose. That tiny identity shift unlocked their path to freedom, and that exact same opportunity is sitting right in front of you at this very moment. You don't need to win the lottery or get some fancy new job title. You need one decision today. Transfer $50 into your savings account, cancel a subscription you're not using, or finally purchase that book you've been putting off for months. That single action rewires your identity from someone in survival mode to someone in builder mode. Imagine how different your life becomes. No more lying awake at 3 a.m. running nightmare calculations. No more panic attacks at the mechanic shop when your car needs $800 in repairs. You just handle it calmly because you built the financial buffer. That's what becoming a disciplined person actually feels like. The typical American has less than $1,000 saved for emergencies. Build just a $5,000 emergency fund and you're already performing better than half the country. That's what builder mode looks like in action. The moment you transform into the kind of person who keeps money and buys back their time, everything in your world shifts. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. Stress melts away and you start playing the exact same game wealthy people have been dominating all along. Because building real wealth isn't about hype, gimmicks, or overnight tricks. It's about rewiring how you think and how you act, step by step, day by day, and that journey begins right this second. Now here's what I need you to do, and this is critical. Don't just watch this and forget about it like every other video you've consumed this week. Right now, while this is fresh in your mind, take action. Pull out your phone, open your banking app, and move just $50 into a separate savings account. Cancel one subscription you're not using. Buy that one book you've been putting off. Do anything that signals to yourself that today is the day your financial life changes forever. And then this is just as important, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I'm releasing new content every single week that will keep you on this path to freedom. Drop a comment below telling me which of these 3 secrets hit you the hardest because I read every single one and your feedback shapes what I create next. Your future self is begging you to take action right now. Don't let them down. Let's build this together.